We create conversations. That's what we do on arrow.net, ARROE.net. All right, let's play it forward. Real people, real stories. Episode number 427 is with Brendan Slocomb, author of The Violin Conspiracy.
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. There you are, dude. I'm telling you what, your book has caused such a ruckus in my neighborhood because everybody wants to get their hands on it.
In a good way, I hope.
They do, because I think that you have touched something inside each and every one of our hearts that, you know, that one, because we all have parents that don't believe in the dreams, or there's something that our grandparents had that it's like, if I would have taken a chance, what would my life be like today? And there's so many different levels of this book.
I agree, yeah, and I'm glad you picked up on that, and I'm hoping that the readers do as well.
Music is a very important part of everybody's life. Becoming a part of it like you have, I mean, my God, I mean, the way that you personally, as well as now as an author, you really bring that forward to a lot of people.
That was the goal. I hope so. I like to let people know that music is such an important life-saving force in my life. You know, I just want to be able to share it with as many people as I can.
The book we're talking about is The Violin Conspiracy. So bad I just want to go dun, 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 because there is a conspiracy inside this story. You have really brought this thing together.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I like the sound effect.
How did you line up the story? Because, you know, they always teach you beginning, middle, and end, blah, 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 blah. But there's more to this. This had to have had something where you were taking notes along the way, and then you kind of went in there and fit things together.
Well, believe it or not, I actually outlined the entire story, and these are stories that I've been carrying around since I was about 9 years old, so it was really quite cathartic to be able to put them down on paper. I outlined everything, and, you know, I would discuss back and forth with my agent about, you know, ramping up suspense or more of a mystery element in the book, and we had a couple of fights, too, about some of the scenes that are in the book, and fortunately, I won most of them, so I'm glad they made it in.
Oh my God, I love moments like that, because in my second published book, the editor wouldn't put their name on the book, and the reason why is because they didn't agree with where I was going with it. So what they did was they spelled their name backwards on it. They would not put their name on it at all.
Yeah, I know those struggles. I definitely know those.
So 9 years old. How old are you now?
I am 50.
Dude, I can relate with this. My very first book I wrote in the 11th grade. It took 32 years for me to finally relinquish it to readers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know how it is. I know. I wrote one 20 years ago that is terrible, and I wish I'd never let anyone read it.
Yeah, but isn't that part of the growing process as a writer, though?
It really is, and I learned a lot from that experience, you know, getting the rejections and getting advice and taking the criticisms and critiques. It helped me to get to where I am right now.
Now, how do you study the people that you know that could be readers? And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm not just in radio, that I also took on a job to be with people at a grocery store, because I want to know who they are. In radio, we imagine we know who they are. But when you're at that grocery store, oh my God, I'm asking questions. Yeah,
it was pretty easy for me as a teacher. You know, I run into all types of people, all types of students and their parents, you know, and other educators, and just meeting people in the music field. There's just all types of people. So, you know, I would write in a way that, okay, you don't have to be a musician to be able to appreciate this. I wanted to make it expansive for all types of people and for everyone to be able to get something from this book, even non-musicians.
Were you listening to music while putting the paragraphs together? Because there's a vibration about it. There's a flow. There's something there that really keeps you connected to the hook.
You know, I can't do it. As a classical musician, I am so in tune. Get that in tune right there. I'm so in tune with what's going on in the music that it's actually a distraction for me. You know, I'll be listening to a symphony and, ooh, yeah, you know, the flute's a little bit sharp. Oh, I could use more viola right there. The oboe, I wish that was a different tone. You know, so I can't really listen to classical music as I'm writing. And it was I can have the TV on, which I did most of the time, but just no classical music.
Do you call that listening beyond sound?
listening beyond sound.
Yeah,
That's
when you break it down, it's because, I mean, all of us, it's like I can hear the bass guitar, I can hear all these things inside it, but you ask me to tell you what they're singing about, I can't hear it, but I can hear everything else.
Yeah, it's all about the actual music for me. It's never about lyrics or anything when I'm listening to songs. It's just I've never been able to get into lyrics. Someone asked me, "Oh, do you like this song?" "Yeah, it's got a great beat. I really like the melody." "Yeah, but what about the words? What are they saying?" "I don't even know what the words are." "How can you not know?" "Because I listen to the music. You know, I never listen to the lyrics."
That's so true. One of the things that you've not been afraid of to talk about, Brandon, is the fact that when you think of people who play violins, you don't think of African-American men or women, but you say, yes, this is possible and it can happen.
Yeah, I think it's really important to let people understand, you know, that the staggering statistic is 1.8% of black musicians occupy seats in professional symphonies, which is, you know, it's just a ridiculously low number. And, you know, things like this people would never be aware of. They take it for granted. It's just like, okay, I'm going to go see a concert, and the people that I see on the stage are the people that I should be seeing on the stage. And they really don't take into account that there are other people, you know, that look like me who are out there who are totally capable of doing this. And I'm hoping that the Violin Conspiracy brings a bigger level of awareness to that aspect.
Do you think that we're going to start seeing more violinists in that way when it comes to shows like America's Got Talent and things like that? Because I'm seeing a lot of violins starting to appear on TV, and they make it look cool.
Absolutely, you know, and you know, along those lines, it's starting to become a bit more mainstream, which I think is fantastic. Mm-hmm. But you know, there's so much more to it than just being, you know, a black guy with a violin, so it's automatically going to be hip hop oriented. No, we can do it all. We can do classical music, we can do jazz, we can do bluegrass. I love bluegrass music. It's some of the most challenging music I've ever had to play. But you know, a week in Nashville that totally helped, and it's great stuff, and I think that the exposure is getting out there, and I'm really happy to see it. But I do want people to know that it's not just about hip hop or not just about rock. The pure classical music, you know, we can do that just as well.
Oh my God, you just put a memory right in my head, because it was one of those things back in the 70s. There was a man by the name of Doug Kershaw from Louisiana. That did I enjoy watching him, or did I enjoy his music? And my answer was always, I enjoyed his music. It always came first.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's that, hey, that's one of those senses that it's one of the first things that you do. You hear something and it just sticks with you, especially if it's good. And I'm going to look that guy up and see what kind of stuff you experienced in listening to him.
Dude, he's unbelievable. Doug Kershaw. I mean, the guy just tore up the stage too. I've never seen anybody. I would say he's probably one of the first ones that really turned it into a performance on the violin when he hit that stage.
I believe it, you know, and I'm excited. I could hear the excitement in your voice. I'm excited to hear about it.
So now, there's one thing I want to touch on. You were raised in Fayetteville. I'm in Charlotte. What is it about the South that brings the soul forward?
That is a really good question. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's maybe because it's hot. I don't know. It's something going on. Maybe something in the water. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing else really going on. And, you know, whatever it is that we gravitate towards, we just go for it 100%. That might be it.
Either that or it's a sweet tea or barbecued ribs. It's got to be one of them.
Neither of which I enjoy, so I don't know. I can't tell you.
We can relate with something on here. You almost sold that violin to pay for your rent. I sold my Ibanez Flying V to get a brand new transmission for my car. When I read that about you, I'm going, oh my God, this guy really has a passion for that violin.
Wow. Yeah, during the pandemic, it was rough, you know, and as a working musician, you know, I was teaching lessons and playing concerts and playing weddings and receptions and dinners and recitals and all of that stuff. And that was my main form of income. And when the pandemic happened, it just stopped. Yep. I mean, just literally stopped. And when the government assistance ran out, I didn't know what I was going to do. I literally was going to sell my violin. And my best friend started a GoFundMe page for me to get me through. And I started writing in the summer of 2020, and this is the biggest blessing that has been bestowed upon me, and it is just amazing. And I thank God every single day. I actually went out and got a tattoo on my right arm that says thank you, so I can be reminded every day of how grateful I am.
Well, I think God's going to put you on a tour that you're not going to believe, because not only is this book going to open the door for people to know about you, but I'll bet you I'm going to see you at the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center in Uptown Charlotte one day.
You know what? I think that's probably going to be a definite possibility, and I'm going to I'll start practicing right now.
There you go. Dude, you got to come back to the show anytime in the future. We're Carolina, man. We're Carolina. I know you're up there a little bit north of us now, but you still got Carolina in you.
Absolutely. You know what? I love Carolina Blue. UNC, not one of the big UNCs, but it was a UNC, so it's close enough. And
Greensboro.
Definitely,
that's right.
I'm a Carolina guy all the way through.
All the way. Greensboro, man. That's a beautiful city.
Yeah, I love it. I haven't been back in a long time. I can't wait to go back.
Well, as they always say in the South, y'all come back, Brendan.
Absolutely. It's good to hear that. I'm hearing that twang, and it's making me homesick.
Be brilliant today, sir.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.